Oh wow, such a nice and lovely day in my school today. Oh hello, who are you? Give me your lunch monies, nerd. I need them to buy new flares. No, please, I did not bring any monies today. I'm also kind of flareless. Then you will pay. I'm going to give you a sandwich of knuckles. No, please, no! And hello everybody, today I will be playing the MiG-23BN in the German tech tree. This thing is essentially a strike aircraft variant of the MiG-23, which sits at 9.7 BR. And this BR is kind of an awkward BR at the moment, because on one hand you can be down tiered to 8.7 and pretty much nobody can touch you because you are just that fast. But if you get up tiered to 10.7 or 10.3, then you are going to get your shit kicked in by a bunch of A-10s, Su-25s, J-70s, anything with a good flight model or good missiles, or all aspect missiles. Now visually this jet, in my opinion, looks pretty good. It kinda looks like a MiG-27 because of the nose, but this thing is not a MiG-27, mainly because the main difference is that it lacks the 30mm cannon. Instead it gets the usual 23mm water pistol, which I think has less ammo than the actual MiG-23MLs. I'm not really too sure, I forgot about that. But yeah, normally my usual loadout would be either 4 S5K rockets or rocket pods, or 2 S5K rocket pods and 2 gun pods. Or for the T52 there, but he's a bit too high. I am not going to chase after him. Normally in a match I would often just sweep my wings back and I would climb, pick up some speed and climb. And then I would essentially just stick to more conservative boom and zoom tactics. Like over here, there's a Yak 130 and an A4E. I decided to go for the A4E first. Mainly because the Yak 130 has a UFO flight model. A4E is exclusive to someone else, so I to go for him, but I lost a lot of speed trying to destroy that A4E. Now, would I say this jet is good? Not really. While it is fast, it doesn't really have the best acceleration. And plus, you do not have any flares and you do not have any missiles. But you are at 9.7, you are going to get up to 10.7 and 10.3 a lot, where pretty much almost every jet has good missiles that you cannot really dodge without flares. The rockets that I use are basically meant to be used as makeshift flares. Now these are not always reliable. In order for these to work, you're gonna have to cut your afterburner, turn and fire your flares. And even if you do that, it's only really gonna work like maybe 50% of the time at best. Most of the time these rockets are mainly useful if somebody is firing a missile at you head on. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all here. I am not a great pilot. I'm not like one of those big YouTubers, you know, Defin or Smeagol or something like that. I'm not really a good pilot. I'm just average at best. However, I'm just making this video so I can give my perspective of this jet and perhaps tell you how I would use it. Now the match here is ending. This last guy is going to die to my teammate. And Guy Jin decides to gift me with a bunch of packet loss. Well, luckily it only lasted for a few seconds. I did not crash. Don't worry, I didn't crash. And that is the match. This match is over. We will move to the next match. And you will see me do a lot of mistakes in this jet. And do I think this jet is good? Well, no, not really. There are way better options in the German air tree at rank 6. For example, the MiG-19S is a way better option. MiG-19S, Lim 5P, both of the CL-13s, they are all better options. However, do I think this jet is bad? Is it unplayable? No, it's not. It is not unplayable. And sometimes I would say it is kind of fun to play. However, it is just not as good as the other options in Germany rank 6. For this jet, I guess you can also try raid fighting. However, the MiG-23's flight model has been nerfed ever since the Seek and Destroy update. So I often would rather stick to conservative boom and zoom tactics. However, sometimes I would go for the raid fight. And now the enemy team is right over there. I am just going to... Over here I will most likely stick to conservative boom and zoom tactics. Now this thing does have a pretty good top speed. I mean, it is a MiG-23 after all. Unfortunately, it has pretty poor acceleration. This is why I often sweep my wings to the back the moment I take off from the runway. Now I'm going to attempt to go for this Ayit here. I engage auto sweep control. And then I just slide on the 6.
The victory is near.
I think I shot a little bit too far there. I take the shot and boom. To the next match. Again, I'm just going to climb on this thing. In this jet, I just feel like that you have to play like really passively in order to actually get kills and survive. If you play way too aggressively, then you're just gonna die because someone is just gonna go on your 6 and fire a high G missile at you that you will not be able to dodge. Your engine's already pretty hot and rockets are unreliable at best when it comes to dealing with missiles. So yeah, you have to just play it very conservatively. Conservative boom and zoom is the way to go. Now here I am still deciding who to engage. I want to go for the MiG-19, but he's going to die to a teammate soon. I don't want to go right into the furball there because there's the 2 jets above.
We're ahead of the enemy.
We had a MiG-19, there's a Lightning and an F-100 over there above. The MiG-19, he's already pretty much dead. So I decided to switch and perhaps go for this F-100 over there. I'm not gonna go up to the F-104 because I'm not going to be able to accelerate in time, and he's already dead. Choosing which F-100 to go after, I decided to go after this guy here. Obviously, because my aim is terrible. cover, I turn towards him. The 23mm cannon, the MiG-23mm, in my opinion, is not really that great. I mean, it does do good damage, but it also sparks a lot, and it essentially has the ballistics of a water pistol, which makes it a little bit awkward to aim. That's why I often carry gunpods. I also carry gunpods for, you know, extra firepower since you do not have any missiles. I really got jump scared by that AV-8 there, so luckily he did not fire an A-93, and he's pretty much already dead, I think. Or he will be dead. And yeah, that's the end of this match. And we go to the next match. The MiG-23BN was pretty much one of the last German jets I have actually grinded, because before I mainly focused on getting the MiG-29, and then after that I got the F4FIs, and then I was the Alpha jet and the G91, those are all European aircraft, while the F4 line was mainly just American aircraft, and the MiG-29 line was mainly Soviet aircraft, which is why I grinded the Tornado just to prepare, but it turns out I didn't really need to. And then I decided to grind. After grinding the Swiss line, I decided to grind the Su-22 line because I was kinda interested in the MiG-23BN. Normally I've seen most players use this thing as a bomb sled. They strap bombs on this thing and bomb bases and repeat. Hopefully that's not what I'm doing. I'm gonna be using this as a fighter or perhaps an interceptor. Or sometimes as a fighter because I might raid fight people. I go out to the J-35 here. I had some bad aim. Now I managed to get them. And for me, I am about to I'm gonna get third party cover. Unfortunately, the F6C here, he approaches me and he pieces my plane apart. We don't talk about that match, by the way. We don't have to talk about that match. Now we have teleported to Sinai. Again, I climb to a high altitude. So sometimes I kind of think, is this really the worst 9.7 jet? I think there are probably worse options out there. I mean, we have the Milan, which is definitely worse than this thing. But I think other 9.7 jets are pretty much just better than this thing in comparison. The I-8, the T2, those seem like pretty much just better jets in comparison to this thing. Well, I guess, yeah, it looks like the battle lasted so long that pretty much night fell.
Attention to the map!
Yeah, yeah, the battle just lasted that long. I definitely did not get shot down there. Now, essentially, in this match, I am not carrying any gun pods. I'm carrying only rockets. I just want to see how it is like to not carry gun pods, because the gun pods do kind of hinder your performance. Now, I want to try to get into that furball forming around, but I just decided maybe not to. Want to go for the MiG-21, but I know I'm never going to catch him because of my terrible acceleration. So maybe the Yak-38 is a better idea, because I mean, he's not even supersonic. Just have to watch out for those other things. But the Yak-38 dies anyways. See another Yak-38, I think there. I decided to go for the F4C instead. I go for the F4C, I go for the head-on, and I somehow actually hit that. I don't know how I hit that. I guess it was just pure luck. Because there is no way I can ever do a head-on like that ever again. Yep, that is just pure luck. Now I decide to engage this SU-7 over here. Essentially, it just disappears into the clouds. This time I decided to be okay. Yep, it's a dogfight now. Or maybe a raid fight, I'm not sure. Decide to sweep my wings back to go past. Out there. I mean, I know it's a MiG-21 at 9.3, but it still has pretty bad flight performance for a MiG-21. He's just flying straight there. Not even. He tries to defend, but he's way too attempt to re-engage this SU-7, but he's already dead. As you can see here, he gets taken out by my teammate. It turns out we are winning this match. Just a few enemy jets left.
Our victory is near.
Now I attempt to pick up speed to go for the F1 Voodoo, but I'm not able to catch him, and he died. And don't worry, we end up surviving that anyways. That's the end for this video. Thank you for watching. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. I mean, if you want to, that'll be appreciated. Goodbye.